In life, love, and the rest of it, leadership shows up in quiet places first. Before anybody calls you boss, before anybody hands you a title, life gives you moments, little tests, little calls, and waits to see how you respond. That's the heartbeat of call and response, the way of leadership. And today we're going to walk through some reflective questions that help us see leadership not as a job, but as a way of living. Let's start with the first one. When life calls on me to lead, who do I become in that moment? That question hits different because it's not asking who you want to be. It's asking who you are when the pressure shows up. When the kids need you, when the family is looking your way, when the community is hurting. Leadership reveals itself in the moment, not the resume. Then there's the emotional side. How do I respond when leadership requires something uncomfortable, inconvenient, or unexpected? Because let's be honest, leadership is rarely convenient. It pulls you out of bed, out of your comfort zone, out of your routine. It asks you to stretch. And sometimes the stretch is the lesson. Another question the book pushes us to ask is, what echoes do my choices leave in my family, my community, and the people who look up to me? That's legacy, not the big dramatic kind, but the everyday kind. The tone you set in your home, the way you speak to people, the way you show up even when you're tired. Those echoes travel farther than you think. And then we get personal. What patterns in your life show you the kind of leader you already are, even without a title? Maybe you're the one people call when they need clarity. Maybe you're the one who keeps the peace. Maybe you're the one who sees the bigger picture. Leadership is already living in you. The book just helps you recognize it. Another powerful question. How does your leadership show up in love, conflict, forgiveness, in everyday relationships? Because leadership isn't just for the workplace. It's in how you love, how you apologize, how you set boundaries, how you heal, how you forgive. Leadership is emotional work. And then we look back. What moments in your past were actually leadership lessons disguised as struggle? Sometimes the hardest seasons were shaping you, teaching you, preparing you. You didn't know it then, but you were being built. One of my favorites, do I respond to life with intention or do I react out of habit? That's the difference between leading your life and letting your life lead you. Intention is a choice. Habit is a reflex. The book challenges us to slow down and choose. And finally, what legacy are you quietly building through the way you show up today? Not tomorrow, not next year, today. Because leadership is a daily practice, not a future plan. These questions make Call and Response a powerful read. It's not just a leadership book. It's a mirror. It helps you see yourself clearly, gently, honestly. It reminds you that leadership is a rhythm. Life calls, and you respond, and every response shape who you're becoming. As we close out this chapter on Call and Response, the way of leadership, I want you to sit with those reflective questions we walked through today. Let them breathe, let them stretch, let them echo in the places where your leadership already lives, in your home, your relationships, your healing, your boundaries, your growth. Leadership is not a moment, it's a rhythm. Life calls and you respond. But our journey doesn't stop here, because next We're stepping into a book that speaks to the soul of our community in a different way. A book that reminds us that before we lead, before we love, before we pour into anybody else, we have to breathe. Our next read in the Life, Love, and Rest of It book club is Black People Breathe, a powerful guide to reclaiming calm, guiding our spirit, and honoring the breath that carries us through stress, survival, and everyday life. If Call and Response taught us how to show up, Black People Breathe teaches us how to slow down. So join me next time as we open this new chapter, one centered on rest, release, and healing power of breath. This has been Life, Love, and the Rest of It. And until we meet again, keep leading with intention, keep loving with courage, keep living with purpose, and most importantly, keep breathing. This is ours.